这位为人类活到150岁、致力于 AI 药物研发的科学家 Zhavoronkov 博士，大家想知道他自己现在是怎么生活的吗？为便于大家理解，我把他每段的要点总结出来打在屏幕上。
You kind of piqued my interest, curiosity about what you do in terms of how you are trying, I'm assuming that you are, to live to 150. What exactly do you do? How do you eat? How do you exercise? How do you sleep?
You know, I wouldn't be a role model for longevity, for applied longevity research, so to speak, on myself, because I actually do many things that I shouldn't be doing if I had the intent to live a dramatically longer life. Like, for example, over the past week, I averaged maybe 3 to 4 hours of sleep, which is not healthy because I had to travel and also take many late night calls and also do some personal work on some of the research projects that we're running right now. There was not a chance for me to avoid that. So even today, I pulled an all-nighter. So I'm speaking with you like basically on autopilot. I can see my Google Watch, but I do track all that.
Right.
And I think that the most impactful thing that I'm doing right now for my personal longevity is actually being at the very forefront of longevity research. So I do, or at least I think I do, know what works and what doesn't. And currently, if you perfectly optimize, in my opinion, again, if you get to absolute ultra optimization regimen where you do exactly what your mother told you. I like to call it DYMT, do what your mother told you. And exercise, sleep, behave well, avoid accidents. Well, and I'm not even talking about smoking or doing drugs or drinking. So that, of course, is off the table for me by default because I want to remain productive or overeating. So if you are in ultra optimization state, you might gain like 5 to 8% additional life expectancy.
Mm-hmm.
And probably you'll be able to push your health span quite considerably. So you're going to look younger, you're going to behave younger, you're going to have higher quality of life. But in terms of maximum lifespan, there is very little you can do with this optimization regimes. If we could have seen it in a population, because there are Buddhist monks, for example, or Shaolin monks that exercise, diet, sleep, meditate, and avoid stress completely. And they don't live very long, right? So actually Buddhist monks with great access to healthcare, they live only 3 years longer on average in Hong Kong, for example.
Right.
So it's not a huge benefit. So if the percentage gain is so small, I would probably be better off working harder and working in the direction of aging research in order to maximize the chances of identifying the next longevity therapeutic that can get you 5-6 years of additional quality adjusted life, much better than all the optimization regimens combined. So I take it, even though that, I have a six-pack, I probably don't need it for weight loss, but it makes me a better person. So I actually don't want to pursue any bad behavior. And since I know that one of the side effects may be muscle loss, I also do push-ups and sit-ups from time to time to just maintain healthy muscle. So that's what I do. I also try to improve my sleep a little bit. I cannot do it naturally, so I usually take very effective sleep medications that give you significantly longer deep sleep. So I can actually get reasonably good sleep using, if I'm tracking it using tracking devices, so at least fair or even good, on 4 hours or 5 hours. So just the ratio between deep REM and other sleep patterns is reasonably good. So it convinces the algorithm that I'm actually sleeping well. And it actually was a pleasant experience. And of course, I take a few other medications that I try not to talk about, but that's also just to minimize risk. And one other thing that I do is I do regular diagnostics. So I do blood draws, full body MRI. I'm not Brian Johnson in this regards. I do it much cheaper, even though I'm not exactly poor, but I try to get those diagnostics procedures done in China, because in China, the country managed to, it's a very service-oriented country. So you have very high quality, very fast service, and you can invite a nurse to your office or even to the car to do the blood draw. And for a couple $100, you can get a massive panel of biomarkers in very short period of time. So you can technically do it every couple of weeks. So I get much more insight into my health, and I know what my risks are. However, it's not a guarantee that I don't have anything. But it's a very good idea to build this data room and the legacy data package about yourself that you can use yourself, you can give it to AI, or you can give it to other people to help them discover drugs in the future. But I modulate my psychology. So I actually convinced myself that I am going to live to 150. It's actually easy to deceive yourself. You just need to strategically lie to yourself until you believe it yourself in order to convince yourself that you are going to live significantly longer life. If you do that, you stop thinking about retirement. You actually think about how to work longer and more productively. You act as a younger individual. And I actually think that it makes you even look younger. Just psychological state of mind. You feel more energy. You feel more optimistic. And optimism, as we know, is very good for business.
Right. Thank you so much, Alex. I look forward to more conversations in 50, maybe 70, 80 years.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll do it in a couple of years or earlier. See, you do not age. I don't see any trace of aging on you, but you're also pretty young.
I was going to say the same to you. With that little sleep, you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, and happy holidays.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.
人生的意义不只在于长度，更不是一个简单的数字所能概括。我想分享给大家那些在为人类的长寿、健康而不断探索的科学家们，他们在做什么？也许能给您带来希望，也许能有所启发。我是小薇博士，关注我，我们为您传递解读全球生命科技的最前沿。